Hey everyone, it's Kai from Kool Collectibles, back again for another review. This time it's the Hot Toys MMS297 Luke Skywalker exclusive. For all your 1/6 scale figures and more, click the link in the description below to head on over to Sideshow Kollectibles. They ship worldwide, so definitely check them out. Alright, if you're a Star Wars original trilogy fan and you collect 1/6 scale figures, then this is an absolute must-have figure set to get. Just scrolling down and you'll see all the accessories that this set comes with. And I think for $220 it absolutely puts to shame and totally embarrasses the Sideshow Pilot Luke figure. That was $20 more at $240 and came with pretty much next to nothing apart from a helmet and some gloves. So I think Hot Toys have really outdone themselves here. It's not a perfect figure when looking at the figure itself, but I'll get to why I think that is in a bit. But from a sort of package perspective, it's absolutely fantastic. So I'll just quickly go through the packaging. As you can see, the front cover art pretty much the same stock standard Star Wars style with the exclusive version there. And we'll just take a note of that head sculpt for now, which is not, to my eyes, exactly what you get in the figure. The cover insert is pretty nicely done again, and you do get you know, some pictures of the figure in its various outfits and so on. So that's very nicely done as well. But it's the accessories that really do it for me on this particular figure set, so I'll just walk you through those. Hold on a second. Alright, on the accessories, it comes with the usual base that they've been including with the original trilogy figures, with the grated weathered look and the silver plaque on the front with their name, so that's pretty nice. It also comes with the remote droid that he uses for his lightsaber training, and it just fits in which hole? That hole there, on this clear plastic pole, and the base of it can either sit flat on the ground like so, or because of those grooves it can also fit on the base and just push it through the slots in the grate there. So nice options there. And the droid itself is pretty nicely detailed, so it has all the usual detailing and weathering that you expect from Hot Toys, so very nicely done there. Also comes with the lightsaber lit up arm, which I probably won't use, similar to the Obi-Wan, but again it comes with a separate hilt that I don't think you can remove, and if you just turn that on, you'll see the light there, and it is pretty bright actually. I'll just grab the usual hilt, the regular hilt. I'll just give you a close-up of the hilt there. The paint application is very, very nice, especially on the silver and the metal parts. It's very clean and sharp, unlike some of the Hot Toys hilts, which are a bit sloppy. So the overall design here is pretty nice. Apparently this isn't movie accurate to the hilt that he is given in the movie, but I don't know, if no one told me I probably wouldn't have noticed the difference anyway. The blade is just your sort of clear translucent blue, so nothing fancy there, and you just detach it by pulling it out. It is pretty tight. Oh geez, hold on a second. Alright, that was pretty difficult to pull out, so just be careful that you don't snap that off, but once you get it off you can then insert that tip into this particular hilt, and when you switch it on you get that light up effect, and it is pretty bright depending on the angle that you look at. So very similar to the Obi-Wan, and it is a pretty damn nice option for them to include. So hopefully Sideshow starts doing this for some of their Sith or Jedi figures as well. It also comes with his blast shield or helmet for his training mode. I don't think this can be lifted or removed, but the helmet can be split in half to help you put it on. It comes with a separate hairpiece that you use for either his other hat or this helmet, and the helmet on the inside is this very smooth interior, so it's unlikely you'll get any sort of scratching on that, but essentially you have the hairpiece in there like so when it's on the head, and you just place that over the head, and that's pretty much the way it's going to look. I won't display it like that. I'll have him in his regular hair, but I'll give you guys a look at the figure in a bit. It also comes with the hat, as I mentioned before, and the hat itself, if I can focus, is actually a very nice material. It's very nicely tailored, so you get all the stitching and so on the rim. That gives it a bit of firmness, and so that's all very nicely done. And the overall design, you can see the holes through the little metal parts there. And it just looks really realistic. So outstanding job there by Hot Toys. And once you got this hair sculpt on, you pretty much just put that over the top, and it's just a bit of a nicer fit. So I think you can just pull that down and have it a bit lower than what I'm trying to do here. But overall, it does look pretty good. I've seen some photos of him set up in his old sort of Tatooine deleted scene style, and it does look pretty fancy, but I probably won't display him with all of that gear. Part of that gear, of course, includes this very big rifle. I'll have to go back to one of those Blu-ray special features to see this deleted scene, or where he actually used this. But the rifle here is pretty nicely detailed. Not too much weathering, but the overall design with all of these components is very nice. It would have been nice if this supposedly metal piece was actually metal. I think it was metal on the similar rifle for the Stormtrooper figure, but on this figure it's just plastic. But I guess the detailing is pretty nice, so you can see this is a soft rubber piece there, and there's a bit of a softer piece there as well. So just be careful, but overall the design is very nice. It also comes with the goggles for that particular mode, so I'm not sure if it's some sort of sandstorm or something, but it does come with goggles that he can put over his face or rest up against his hat. And of course it comes with his binoculars, and it's very nicely detailed. I actually thought for a second that you could turn these various knobs and so on, but they're all sort of glued in place, so you cannot. But it also comes with an extra couple of pieces just to finish off the look. So it comes with one piece that I think you just insert in that direction, or maybe the other direction. I'm not sure which direction it is, but you insert it in the way that it looks as if it was closed, like so, and just pull that back, and then it has the open look where you just insert it like that, where he's actually trying to look into the viewfinder. So pretty nice options, and overall very nicely detailed and painted. It also comes with I think they call this a droid caller, which I think Han also came with, if I remember correctly. So that's a nice little accessory as well. For the exclusive, it comes with the additional Stormtrooper Belt, which has its own little C-3PO intercom thing. And so this is the standard sort of belt. So we've seen this a few times already with the various figures. But of course it also comes with the grappling hook. And luckily I did read the instructions, because I was about to start pulling this out, because it sort of gives the impression that this rope here can extend, but the instructions pretty much indicate do not pull that out. So I won't be doing that, but overall it looks like a pretty nice addition if you get the exclusive version. And of course it comes with the standard Stormtrooper blaster in the usual style, so again very nicely done. Comes with a number of hands as well. Nothing too fancy about the hands. I wouldn't say they're the best detailed hands, but I guess they do the job. So you get all the various poses out of that to hold the either the blaster rifle or the lightsaber, etc. So pretty much all the options you can think of. And of course the last accessory is this huge poncho thing that you pretty much open up and slot through his head and neck piece there. And the material is actually really nice and thin and soft. It's almost like a thin winter jacket type material. So it's not quite velvet or felt, but it does feel nice and smooth. And this whole sort of lining at the edge is has a wire running through it, so you can bend and pose that as you see fit to get that wind-blown look if you want. And the stitching and the detailing is just really nice. Love how Hot Toys have done that detail. So that pretty much covers all the accessories. So I'll grab the figure and give you guys a run through of that. Hold on. Alright, so before I get too far into the Hot Toys figure itself, I thought I'd do a quick comparison against the recent Sideshow Pilot Luke head sculpt. And I have to say, I actually prefer the sculpt of the Sideshow figure, but of course it's the paint application on the Hot Toys figure that pretty much sets it apart. So you'll see again, the Sideshow figure has a very sort of flat and plasticky sort of paint application, but the Hot Toys figure is much more realistic with its skin texture. So you can see it fairly clearly in hand, and hopefully you can see that extra detailing in this close-up here. So you'll see overall, if the sculpt of the Sideshow figure was then given a Hot Toys paint application, I think that would probably be the best combination, and probably would have made this Pilot Luke figure pretty much a legendary figure. So either are not perfect, and the reason why I say the Hot Toys figure is not perfect either is if you look at the cover art here, which I assume is of the prototype, I think that head sculpt there looks a lot better than what we actually get in the release figure. So I'm just trying to sort of get that lighting and that sort of direction, and I guess for me, I'm not seeing that sculpt in the figure that we get. So I think that looks very much like Mark Hamill, whereas this one, yeah, I think you can tell that it's him, but overall the sculpt doesn't match the likeness of that particular photo there. But aside from the likeness itself, the head sculpt is the usual outstanding Hot Toys paint application, and the eyes, I guess for me, are a more accurate blue color than the Sideshow figure, which almost has brown eyes. And I guess as you rotate the head, you know, there are certain directions where the likeness comes out a bit more than others, but yeah, overall it's probably not the best head sculpt they've done. The hair itself, I prefer the hair on the Hot Toys figure, just the extra sort of finer detail in the stranding and the sort of waviness of the hair is certainly better than the Sideshow version. But the outfit, I guess as always, the outfit is another highlight of the figure. The tunic here is like a very thin but sturdy material, so I guess similar in a way to the Obi-Wan figure, but it does feel a little bit more hard wearing and less sort of finer in its sort of the way it falls, but still it looks pretty damn good. I've heard some complaints that people think the tunic is too short, but I think you can, because they've deliberately sort of folded the tunic over the belt, there is you know, room to play with it and pull it down if you want to give it a bit of extra length. But overall, the way it looks, I don't think it's too bad at all, and it's got enough sort of play and thickness to it and looseness to it that you can get it into all sorts of poses and just futz around with it as well. So just looking at it from all those angles, just the detailing and the texture is really nice. The belt is a fake sort of leather look to it, but it does have some nice weathering in all of these little pouches and so on, so that does all look very nice. And you can take the belt off. I think it's just got a couple of pegs in there, and you can take it off to put on the Stormtrooper belt, but I probably won't bother doing that. It's got the little hook here, so you can get the lightsaber here and hook it over that little thing there. and have it resting on his hip. So that's a good display option. All of these pouches I don't think are movable in that they're pretty much studded into the belt, but again the molding on those is pretty nice. They're pretty hard plastic, so they're not that sort of leather material, but they do sort of blend in well enough. They're probably a slightly darker paint than the belt itself, but overall not too bad. The pants, I think the pants are again a very similar material to the Obi-Wan figure. They're a thinner, sort of finer material than the tunic itself, but again has lots of flexibility and looseness for the body articulation. And the tailoring again, I can't really complain about too much. One disappointing fact is these shin guards and I guess the boots are not a I guess a fabric material. They're molded plastic. It is a softer plastic, but it would have been really nice if they had done something similar to the Sideshow Tusken Raider figure, which had beautiful sort of real fabric wrap, which really gave it that extra amount of detail and so on. So I guess they've done this to, you know, give you a bit of an option with the posability and so on, but it does sacrifice a bit of realism, I guess, in the leg areas. So that's a bit of a shame, but other than that, the figure itself and the costume is pretty damn awesome. Articulation wise, as you can see, the thighs are pretty firm, but they do go out quite a distance. It has the usual double knee joint that I can feel in there. Yep, double knee joint. The ankles tilt back and forth and do have that rocking action as well. So plenty of usual articulation points there, and the arms are not restricted at all by the looseness of the tunic here, so they go out quite a way, and there is the bicep swivel and the double jointed elbow as well, and they do rotate back and forth pretty well. So articulation wise, all the usual points that you would expect from you know, the usual high-end 1/6 scale figures. I'd probably be careful in rotating the head, because the neck joint here does rub up against the neck area, so just be careful you don't rub off all the paint on the neck there. But other than that, the figure does look pretty damn nice. So it's a shame the head sculpt isn't as accurate as it probably could have been, but they probably will make that up with the upcoming Leia figure, which is, along with Vader, the last two figures from the core cast that I'm waiting for from, I guess, the original Star Wars movie. So hopefully you like that fairly quick look at the Luke Skywalker figure from Hot Toys. Hopefully you can click that subscribe button and stay tuned for all the upcoming reviews I've got through the rest of December and into next year. And I will be doing an end of year collection update, so hopefully you can stick around for that as well. So thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.